Oh, okay. We're getting everything lined up on YouTube to get that up and going. I want to thank everybody for your good, your prayers and thoughts. I've been going through the fritz with my back. Did get an MRI done this week and and then I had some blood work done yesterday that was just absolutely insane. I'd never seen that kind of blood work before. And but anyway, my doc thinks that it may not have been a strain, but it may have been some kind of infection along my spine that settled in and it emulated just having a lower back strain. But all I know is the pain has been excruciating. But I've moved downstairs and are sleeping on the hard bed, so it's a little bit better. So, but with no further ado, enough about that. Although, you could say this market gives you a pain in the back right now, but it's time for How to Make Money Trading Stocks. Is our weekly review. Make sure that. Let me go back one. Turn to the recording. There we go. So, hey, I'm Dennis Wilborn, founder of Active Trend Trading. Dr. Steve Farrar is joining us with a stock pick today. I was quite impressed that he found this particular stock today. So you're going to want to hang around until close to the end because he's going to reveal and tell you how he's trading it. Just remember that all the materials we do present are for trading purposes. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. So here's my index analysis for the week. One, hey, our P&L looks great for the year. We're up a little bit over 30% for the year. And the Dow, down. S&P, down. NASDAQ, up nicely for the year. Russell, down. Russell is Russell has been showing a little bit of strength of late, but will it continue on into the rest of the year? I don't know. That's one of the things we just don't know. So let's jump over to the S&P, and I'll utilize the spiders to emulate what's going on in the S&P. As you see, what we've got going on here is we came up and made a new high, and then for 3 days, that lasted for 1, 2, 3 days, and then we fell back below it. So is this a breakout, fake out? That we don't know, but we can take some clues in that we've got some negative divergence going on the daily charts. Oftentimes that's a precursor for stocks moving even down lower, where I would envision, if you were a Fibonacci person, I would draw a Fibonacci from here up to here, see how far down the 50% retracement is. I'll bet you it comes out right about the 34, somewhere between the 34-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. That's where I'd anticipate the possibility of getting a bounce there. Of course, we could just continue to, basically maintain this $3 to $119 on SPYs and jump up from there. One thing to keep in mind, though, what do we got over here on the daily chart? Well, yes, we have negative divergence on the daily chart with the high from last June. Overall, going back to February when we made the high for the year, we're still pushing up towards that new high. Would I call this a negative divergence? Not yet, I wouldn't. Although it does look like the momentum is shifting downward a little bit, and so we'll see what transpires with that. I still like QQQ, the Nasdaq as ETF. I think that gives the better candlesticks to follow. It's looking like kind of a I wouldn't call it really a double top, but certainly trading within a range here, where if we take out the 251 level, we're probably going to go down here and visit the 245 and perhaps even down as low as somewhere between 237 and 231. And so interest in today's action did take out this swing low right here. And so even though it may not close below the swing low, It did take it out. So that can be also a forecasting to the future that we may see some more downside. Again, it's not a huge sell-off, but at this particular time, but it is something just to keep our eye on. On the weekly chart, yeah, not quite a dark cloud cover last week, but we're within the highs from last week and the lows from last week, finishing off towards the lower half of the candlestick for the week. TSI has not turned over yet, but we do have clear negative divergence, as you can see, from this high to this to this most recent high. The TSI is showing a negative. One of the things, and I'll show this to you on the IWM. So I prefer the Qs to the upside. What I would like to see is, since this is almost a hammer today, not quite, I would like to see a retest around the bottom of the body today at 254. And of course, I'd be trading TQQ on that particular one or options on the Qs. IWM. Okay, I thought I got rid of all that stuff. There we go. IWM. You can notice that IWM, its pattern is really kind of sloppy and junky. We did get a nice gap up, but then it just went sideways. Now that could be considered a bullish signal. It just went sideways. However, the other indexes were making headway when that happened, and the IWM was just driving sideways. My action zone for IWM is just maintaining a high above this level. Where are we going to get it? 145.15. As long as we stay above that, I'll look for a potential trade to the upside if it maintains that particular uptrend there. And that's where I'm looking at. That's my action zone to jump into a potential trade. Now, if it blows through the 20-day moving average there, then I'm looking for a pullback even deeper down to about the 140 level. What do we have going on over here? Again, just really almost random kind of candlestick patterns that really don't define a specific trend. And we're talking about that's going back from about here, which is the May 25th, reaching all the way through to today. So like I said, this week and the last 2 weeks, absolutely just nothing to write home on about for the IWM. So what's my status, or what's my position right now on IWM? I would look at IWM if the market does really roll over hard. I would look at IWM to trade it to the downside. I would look at the Qs to trade the upside. So you got anything to add, Steve?
No, that's pretty much it. I think we're in a kind of a no man's land. I'm not, the market's kind of chopping, and I'm not sure what it's going to do. It can break either way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. And I think, what do you consider the drivers of the market tonight? Do you think the virus issues?
I really don't know, Dennis. And I try not to get opinionated that way, and I just try to trade what I see happening on the chart.
Yes, cool. So, well, what great stock do you have for us this week?
I like Tractor Supply, TSCO. It's for an aggressive trader. Today is probably an entry.
Yep.
I would probably wait till Monday to enter, and I would trade above today's high.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we're riding it's been in a very strong trend for some time.
In fact,
I'm not sure how I missed this. Why I didn't find this earlier.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not.
It is a former. It's been in the IBD 50 several different times, though not recently. Right. And it's a very positive trend, and we're riding the 8. And I think We're having a pullback, a little bit of weakness today after earnings reported yesterday.
Right.
But it's a good reaction to earnings, I think. And if we can get above today's high sometime on Monday, I would take it as an entry. If we chop lower, I would just keep trailing an entry above the whatever that day's high is. Yeah.
Yeah. What, Steve, how much do you get? Okay, like today's high is right now sitting at about 146.74. What would be, how much above that level would be your trigger to get in?
Between 1 and 5 cents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Between a penny and 5 cents.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
I would just put a buy stop limit order, not a limit, but a buy stop order.
Right.
A few cents above the high, and hopefully get it triggered in.
And so, and I'll give you another look how well on the way up the price action has respected the 8-day moving average.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so if that's another area where I'd sit there and go on Monday saying,
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? The 8-day moving average has held up really well.
Right.
And so I like it. And
Yeah.
so,
and I don't know how I missed it. These are the kind of stocks I dream about.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen Tractor Supply turn up on any of the IBD watch list of
Right.
lately at all.
Yeah.
And so anyway, hey, if you're joining us on YouTube, my lovely wife, Michelle, is over there to answer any questions you might have. Do me a favor, just say hi to her. Let her know where you're dialing in from. Yeah, I've got one that I'll just throw out here that I'm going to be talking about at the top of the hour. Myrna, it is a biotech stock, but it has come right down to a level, an action zone level of support at 67.57. Things haven't turned up yet. So even though the price action today is down, but the buyers did come in right there at that level. One of the things, if you want to stay out of trouble with your trades, is what you can do is wait for the TSI to make a turn, and even a turn with a cross up sometimes. As you see over here, that would have been a fake out. The other thing to go with that is wait for the market forecast to show a cluster of such below we want the cluster to be below the -20 line. But that dark green line right there, if it's pointing in the up direction, that's a great indication that, it's all signs are go to trade to the upside. On the flip side of that, if it is facing the downside, it's not a time. You basically keep your powder dry and don't buy anything until that does reverse for that particular entity. It's a good indicator for doing that kind of stuff. So, hey, thanks, Steve. What is it? Have you traded Myrna?
I have in the past, but not recently. I'm watching it. I agree with you. I'm watching it for a trade.
Okay, cool.
I think it's in a great location.
So, okay, well, let's finish off today. I want to again thank everybody for joining us. It is the first time you've joined us on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button for YouTube, and that's the right one. Yep, that's the right one. YouTube, and let us know what you think about the video, and provide a like. So that's where we're up. We're about 33% above the S&P. And my projection for today is kind of, it's like the market's looking for support. It may have found support, but it's a bit to go before it hits its actually solid technical support. So what is the technical support? Well, price action comes down and they break through the 8. The next level of technical strong dynamic support would be the 20-day moving average. Same thing, if it breaks the 20 and closes below the 20, we're looking at either the 34 or the 50 for where we'd anticipate the next battle lines to be drawn. Great pick by Steve. So let's see, this was the same question we had a couple of weeks ago, but I really like this question. What one thing could you change about your trading right now that would make you more consistent? And you might just want to, you can answer in the chat box, because I don't look at the question and answers that often. But yeah, take a look at the chat box. What one thing, and every trader who's been trading for a while, I know, what one thing, Steve, would you change about the way you're trading right now to make you more consistent?
And really honor my rules. I mean, I often talk myself out of it, and it's just generally never a smart thing to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you talk yourself out of trading, you trade your rules, but you talk yourself out of taking buys sometime?
Or more importantly, when I should sell.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for me, getting in is kind of easy, kind of straightforward. It's the exits that I struggle with. And when I get close to it, I get an exit signal, but it's real borderline.
Yeah.
Then I have a hard time. I often don't pull the trigger, and most often I regret it.
I hear you. Well, that's one thing that we have been doing with our service for the Power Ranked Elite Top 5 is we basically, this is a list that comes out once a week. We've done a completely stripped everything except the cream of the crop of all 13 IBD watch lists. We come out with the top 5. In the top 5, I provide specific, here's your trigger to get in. Here's the price to get in. Here's the price to do your stop loss, and the price to take your profits. And I encourage people to put in conditional orders. So it's like, it's painless when it comes time to sell the trade, because you're already set up where you're either going to take a small loss or you're going to take a nice profit on the trade. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, check out activetrendtrading.com/top 5. Engage your autopilot. I like to say that. I'm an old naval aviator. So, hey, that's it for today. Steve, we did a great job keeping this within the bounds. Again, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Please let your friends.
You're very welcome.
And please let your friends know that we do this every week. And you can find us on YouTube, or you can find us over on activetrendtrading.com. So until next week, aloha, trade well and prosper. Have a great weekend. And remember, subscribe, hit the bell, so you'll know when we post new content, and you'll find another video that'll pop up right there. So I am feeling better. I hope to continue this through this weekend. So I'll be back totally on board next week. So as my friend Mike Norton said, adios. I'll say hasta la vista, vaya con Dios, which means aloha. God bless everybody. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Bye-bye.